Yo, 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 yo. We are in the building. We are here. We are here. What's good? What's good? What's good? Come on in, y'all. Come on in. Give y'all a few seconds to come in. Oh man. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. We got it. We got it. Yeah, yeah. Yes. We're gonna get into it tonight. I don't really plan to be on here too long. But I wanted to uh, give an esoteric breakdown of the speech tonight. Hannibal, what's good? My brother Hannibal. My brother Hannibal's in the building. Shout out to you, bro. Yes, indeed. Some big stuff tonight, man. Big stuff, man. Big stuff. Did he speak good, black people? He said, did he speak good? Yeah, man. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I just think that I believe I was pretty inspired, man. For a lot of reasons, man. It's not just him per se in the speech. It's not just him. Hold on, guys. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Okay, yeah. So did you see? I don't know if you guys saw it. Did you guys see the Donald Trump the presidential the speech, the address? Um, Personally, I thought it was wonderful, man, from a lot of different reasons. Uh, a few things here, a few things that I noticed. Number one, he went through it real smooth. That's number one. From an optic standpoint, I was impressed with just the production. I'm not even gonna sit here and lie about that. He outdid himself tonight. He didn't ramble on. From a production standpoint itself was really impressive. For a man that age, very impressive. That's number one. So kudos on that. Secondly, you see how what we call the people that are Democrats, um, they didn't, they weren't really impressed. Now here we are, is the president of the United States, and there's no respect even for the position, even for the position. So I'm like, look, we got to at least have some kind of respect. You go to your job or whatever, that's the president, that's the elected leader, at least for that situation. So I'm like, at least show some respect. You may not even have to agree with nobody, but I look at it from a deeper uh, symbolic understanding. See, this is what this is. This is my breakdown of it. Um, yeah, let's get into it, man. Y'all come on in. Y'all get a seat, and I want y'all feedback on what y'all think. Those that saw it, but yeah. So Trump, I was impressed with how he was engaged, and the production of it. Like I said, getting back on that again. He acknowledged all these people. The young black kid, I thought that was really impressive, man. He gave him an honorary the young boy, I don't know if y'all saw it, the one that had brain cancer, an honorary a Secret Service security badge. I thought that was pretty dope. We got that. I mean, whether people like it or not, I just thought that was pretty cool, man. I gotta admit, that was pretty cool. And he don't have to do those things, you know what I'm saying? He acknowledged all these people, man. Like, so that was pretty impressive. And he went in deep, deep with it. It wasn't like he just threw it out there and moved on. He broke down every story. So I'm saying from a production standpoint, that was very impressive. Cause that's all I do. I'm a producer. I produce, and with my videos, those that follow me see, I'm a production guy. Um, so yeah, highly impressed with that. Highly, 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 highly impressed with that. So again, secondly, with the Democrats, they're not showing solidarity, even though they may have their gripes, but at least acknowledge things that you believe are done right. You don't have to agree on everything, but at least acknowledge it and respect the position. Number three, um, I really see what he's actually doing now, and I give him kudos for acknowledging the. Now he said God. I'm not listen when I'm talking to y'all about it. I'm not shallow and think that this man is some religious or spiritual guy. That's not where I'm coming from. But I'm coming from the optics understanding that he at least gave acknowledgement, which is all you can really ask for in this program society. So that's what I said. From that alone was kind of impressive. Um, and also esoterically, man, it's a lot of stuff that's going on. And he even said the golden era, which is the time we in. And remember, I said season 11. Um, and he's the 47th president in this time we in now. And so that's 11. So let that sink in. You know what I'm saying? So I talked about this on my channel for years. So I'm not just pulling this shit out my ass. So everything is symbolic. And it's interesting. Reason why I said I felt inspired because on the esoteric level, I understand what I'm looking at. See, most people just in their feelings. I understand what they're doing. First of all, the white man is going to, which I'm not mad at. They're reestablishing themselves as far as a nation of whom they are amongst the world. So a lot of his decisions he's making is that wokeness and all this abortions and stuff like that. That's to protect themselves because they're done. But I gotta give him props because they're reasserting themselves of world dominance as a people and really want to secure their their uh their legacy of whom they are as a group. So I see what he's doing. He's bringing all his rich friends, which people saying he's doing, which is what he's doing. But at least he's bringing in all the rich doers. Follow me here. This is why I told y'all for years: if you're not a doer, you're gonna be fucked. Or if you're not part of people doing, you're fucked. And so basically, once he's clearing out the federal budget, a lot of that money is going to their rich friends to build. I hope y'all follow me what I'm saying here, whether y'all agree or not. But I see the writing on the wall because you hear people complain, "Oh, he doing this with his rich friends," but you're not saying what it is. They just rich for what? Just to have money? Nah, you got Elon Musk. He don't have like Trump said. You don't have to be there for real. But he wants to bring industry here. What to get him even richer? Probably. But at the same time, it gives people work. It gives people something incentive to do something. The new world is requiring you to do. You can't just sit on the federal government money and just eat off of that, like my cousin doing, eating off my grandmother and eating off everybody. He's fucked because he ain't a doer. I'm talking about my cousin. That's a microcosm of what the macro of what Trump is doing. You can't sit and eat off of the government forever. That's over with. That money has got to go to production now and paying workers, paying that money's gonna go to the builders. Y'all ain't following me, man. And the reason why this may upset some people because you're not a builder, which is what I've been telling y'all for years. We coming up on that time where you have to produce. Oh, my man Nameless is up in the building. Shout out to Nameless. Absolutely. So I'm looking at it from an esoteric standpoint, which I'm when I relates to the black man. I've been telling y'all for years, you're gonna have to be a builder. You're gonna have to be a doer. And see, they're doing no matter what you may say or white this and all these people, the white man, he's gonna do what he's gonna do. What are you doing? He's trying to maintain what's left of a dying society, the end of that regime. And you can't even be upset about it because you being upset is part of you not understanding what's going on. You're not a part of shit because that understanding that how they're moving, you sort of had that same notion in your life, which is why I said in the title, I'm actually inspired after this because I'm a part. I want to be a part of the doers and a part of making America great again, quote unquote. And understand America is a company, a business, like any business, just on a large scale. But see, you saying, but here's the thing, Hannibal, you said they have no choice to rebuild it because they destroyed it. That's true, but what did they really destroy? It was it's there. It's theirs. It's their mindset. It's theirs. You looking at you for my you thinking of America as a physical uh human doing. In other words, like it's touchable, but you people as a people, we are a nation. We don't take it upon ourselves to risk everything to build. The one thing about the white man and Esau, They will sacrifice shit to make shit right in their own lives. I don't give a damn what people say. He's been known to do that. They'll kill their mama. And I ain't saying we got to do that, but I'm just saying we can't sacrifice not spending money on bullshit as a people. You said they destroyed their masculinity. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Trump did show which I like. And um so we got to understand the way the country is moving, what we call the country, and the way the Most High is moving is putting things back in order. And shit, sometime like in the Bible, he can use a donkey to do it. And the thing that I told BGS a while back, I was like, the problem is niggas always reacting to everything. We don't have our own nation of doers that's we commune together and make sure shit is done. We all over the fucking place. We still arguing about Keisha. We still arguing about women not submitting. I mean, we just sound crazy right now. While they moving on with the rest of the world. Just let that sink in. That's why I say I got inspired because they're moving on with the world's business. And I'm saying this in my own world. I'm saying this to each black man on here. We a nation of builders, man. That's our role. And I am sick and talk about Keisha. I am done. I leave that to all those other channels y'all want to listen to day in and day out. That shit lowers your vibration like a motherfucker. It's just stupid. She's done. Keisha's been done. So it's like, yo, what are we talking about here, man? Really? And when I say nation, it's a nation of black men on YouTube that don't support each other. Let that sink in. Let that sink in. Let that sink in. So I don't give a shit what none of these niggas on YouTube think. We don't support each other, man. Fuck them. Nameless is really, yeah, that's true, nameless. None of this is by accident. It's really deep, man. It's a lot of activity going on. It's like that's why I did that t-shirt. This is war. Remember I did that shirt? They only uh my black women bought, which is crazy. That shit was fire. I mean, a couple of youngins bought it too. They love that t-shirt. But I ain't no dudes on YouTube bought it. That shit was dope. I got a few sales, quite a few sales on that. Yeah, niggas, I'm sick of niggas, man. I told y'all the other day, I don't give a shit no more. After seeing that, that solidified me and just inspiration of the Most High is working. He working overtime. And I'm looking at, he gonna bring his rich friends over. This is what he's doing. He gonna bring his rich friends over. Fire everybody in the federal government. Now, people can be mad if they want, but you're not controlling shit. You got used to depending on this fucking system, like in the Matrix. People are so hopelessly inert, they'll do anything to keep it going. The Matrix is some real shit. This is a Matrix. So Trump and them to risk, and I'm not mad at him. He gonna bring his rich friends over here. They got to pay that money to come over and bring their paper and build industries, whether it's electric cars, whether it's building rocket ships, whether it's building whatever industries. I don't know, airplanes or whatever. Which is smart. You bring it back here and start building. You got to lay off all this wasteful spending in federal gov. You don't need all that shit no more. It's over. That's dead. That's dead and stinking. So now all the people are gonna need work. But now, if you bring industry in quickly, like you look like they're trying to do, those workers gonna have somewhere to work. They're gonna need somewhere to go and work. You ain't gonna be federal government. You're gonna work for the country. You're gonna work because some people trying to be too deep into the shit, but really it's just practical fucking business. The white man ain't spiritual. What are we talking about here? What are we? He's been used. He's always been used to wake our asses up. I remember the pimp guy talked about that. He was saying how the white man was just used really in that time, which is true. And he trying to use it again. So we sound retarded trying to link. Yeah, but see, the white man, it's like that. Shut up. He's doing what he always do. God damn it. Yeah, yeah, exactly. And nameless, you're correct. To me, it's not even that deep. Like meaning not what you're saying. I'm saying in general. Like it's niggas is yeah, see, because see, it's you gonna hear niggas just trying to overanalyze shit. Cause you know why? Cause niggas ain't got no plans. Let's just be a buck. I'm sorry. People just don't like me. I get it. But people ain't got no plans, man. They ain't niggas ain't got no plans. We just want to be entertained. We know everything about the tank boxing match. Every nigga I talked to was going to see it somewhere. I was like, who fighting? I didn't even know what was going on. I'm like, oh, all right. I went home, went to sleep. I'm like, we pathetic, man. As a whole, we some pathetic motherfuckers, man. And how long I've been saying this on my channel about industry, building, and I'm trying to show you guys through the shit that I'm doing. Those that's following me and seeing it. Y'all see the work? Man, I don't even sleep anymore. But I believe that I'm part of that. You should believe you're part of this golden age of pioneership building. See, the Most High is going to usher that in. So if you're a doer, you're going to be good because now it's just straight up classism. It ain't gonna be that niggas are still on that racist shit. Yeah, does it still exist? Yes. But I believe more now it's about classism. I'm telling y'all, this is doers and non-doers. You're done. You're fucked. I really believe that. Because nobody want to hear your fucking excuses no more. Nobody, the environment is getting tired of that. And I'm gonna tell you, I can give y'all proof that I'm right. Know who use racism shit now more than ever and privilege? Who does it more than ever? Somebody please put it in the chat. That's why I know it's bullshit. Who used the race card more than ever and the most privileged right now? Please, someone put it in the chat. This is an easy one. And on my channel, this is an easy one. Yes. Keisha more than anybody. But yeah, women. Oh yeah. You're right, nameless. Yeah, it was observed and proven in that area. All us. Yeah, I agree. I'm gonna go as far as saying y'all it's white women, yes, yes, but Keisha get major league privilege. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, man. Because I'm seeing them reckless. They can get away with all kinds of bullshit, especially when it pertains to us. But it's not real. And see, understand what I'm saying. It's not real privilege like the white woman gets. It's pseudo. They be laughing at Keisha in the front. But I'm saying, yeah, white women definitely get it. But she should because it's their program. You see my point? We don't have a program. We used to. Yeah. Because I'm gonna tell y'all something that just happened to me when it comes to black women, man. Like, and we all go through it, but I'm gonna share this. I at the school, I'm helping out at the school. I got the school, I'm giving scholarships, and I'm helping the school. And they're not even fucking paying me, by the way, guys. By the way. Um, but it's a group of black women. We had this little team meeting, but I didn't have to go, but I went to support. But I went, but as you know, all them black women, other than the owner and my good friend that works with me, that I went to school there with, she still teach there. She's good friends of mine, Miss Pat. Shout out to Miss Pat. But the rest of them divas in there that working there, I don't even see them because they don't come in and help do shit. But they was all in there acting. They didn't. None of them spoke to me, and I'm actually the most accomplished in there. But none of them went out the way to speak to me. They just say, "Hey, how you doing? Long time." Like nothing pleasant. They were all just nose in the air. Made me sick. Shout out to Josh Thomas for the cash app, fam. You the first one on this ism this tonight. I ain't expecting nothing. I ain't looking, but I appreciate it. Appreciate that. Hold on, let me see something. Let me see what y'all saying. Well, it says yeah. Doing inner reconstruction, empathy, and energy. Right. hmm Hey, that's a great point, Nameless. That's a great. And I said the same thing. It's empathy and your energy. I agree. I agree, 100%. And I believe that. I definitely do. And with that, your energy, you see, what is energy? Energy, really, my definition of it is really where you spend your time. What are you doing? What did you do today? And where's the results of your doing every day? What's the receipt of anything productive? See, black people know what energy is, but we use it for bullshit. Partying, bullshit, drinking, fucking. That's our lane. And I'm looking up and seeing these white men, which is their country, which is their country, which is the Americas is their establishment. We all on here we agree about history, and then they stole it and they named it after Americanus. The what's the guy's Christian, was it Christian Americanus? I can't remember. Yeah. So we can all agree on that because this is still stolen, what we call quote unquote stolen land, but they made use of it. We did too, the agrarian way, which is why I go back to what Nameless just said with the empathy part, which is true. We have to reestablish that. And I totally agree with that. With some semblance of a plan of order, though. We have to move different because it's a new era, too, by the way. We are in the age of Aquarius, so it's a new time, a new vibration. Water. Y'all ain't hearing me, man. I think we too damn smart on this channel to over analyze shit that's just totally to me is trivial at this point. I'm reading name. Yeah, yep. You said speaking of energy and even industrial literal sense. Yeah. Oh yeah, nameless. You yeah, I already know, man. You so far ahead sometimes. You be just yeah, yeah, water. It is. The water is gonna be the new oil. I agree. Yeah. So I'm excited, man. I'm excited to be able to create and being able to be a part of the vibration of change. Because even in his speech, he talked about getting rid of that wokeness bullshit and all that. I'm like, I like that's the basic fundamentals. So I respect at least that. Yeah. So it's an exciting time for us as brothers, man. I'm telling y'all on the esoteric standpoint, it's really exciting, man. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but I open the lines up. If anybody want to talk about the speech, they can. I open it up. If they want to call in for a little bit, I ain't trying to be on here too long tonight because I am a little tired, but I had to do it because like I said, I felt inspired. God damn it. I'm gonna open up the lines. Anything y'all want to share? Why is it? Hold on, man. I don't understand. Hold on. I'm trying to add the link. It's not letting me do it. Copy. Hmm. Interesting. They let me copy. Okay, let me do it like this there. Hold on, guys. They better let me do it now. The hell's happening? There we go. Okay. I put the link in the chat. So while that's in there for a second, lingering, I think. Hmm. That's a good point. Hannibal made. I mean, not Hannibal. Nameless. They talking to Hannibal. They going. Y'all got some good dialogue going on. Yeah, that's what's up, Eric. You starting the water bit? Yeah, some real shit, man. So But yeah, man, I felt inspired, man. I felt inspired as a producer, not just as a black man, but as a producing man um on this planet, and to be able to be a part of industrial change, which is what y'all going to experience. Because even on a basic fundamental thought level, how long can we keep this up? We don't produce shit. We don't, like I said, at a certain point, it ain't really that deep and rich. It's just time for change anyway. Shit. We don't produce nothing as a nation. We ain't in control of shit as a nation. We don't do shit. Well, bitch. And this feminism, it's over. That old ideology, I'm glad that's dying, man. That's a wasteland. We're in a golden age, which is what Trump said, which is so true. This the time we in. This is what I've been telling y'all for years on my channel. You have to produce, be around people that produce any industry that you guys are a part of. Be the thought leaders in your industry. How many times have I said that on this goddamn channel and not talking about Keisha every time I open it up and panel after panel talking about what black women won't do? Why they ain't, nigga. They don't see you as that. And I've been warning y'all, all we do is think about booty. Do I like a beautiful, beautiful woman? Absolutely. Absolutely. But am I going to lose myself in trying to get, think about ass all day? God damn, man, that shit ain't even worth it. Jesus. Okay, let's see. We got to, oh, I think my brother Nameless. I ain't heard from him in a minute. Hold on. Let me add him to the stage. Turn the volume up a little bit. What up? What up, fam? Are you here? Are you here?
To the chat and the instruct on the panel, man.
What's up, brother?
What's going on with you, family? It's been a minute and a half.
Man, I thought you went to Africa or something, man. I thought you just left.
Man, I definitely been in the mountains chilling. I can say that much for certain.
That's what's up. That was good to hear your voice, man. I haven't heard from you. Maybe you've been on somebody else's panels, but I don't really listen to YouTube streets as much as I used to.
Well, no, I just started doing content again. I've been
Really? I'm
seriously thinking.
subscribed to you, but I ain't seen nothing pop up.
Yeah, man, I already got 2 uploads. I'm working on a bunch more.
Yeah, that's funny because I am subscribed to you, so I just haven't seen anything. I went and listened. The last time I've been to, well, I didn't talk to you since then. I went and listened to all, like went back and listened to all your videos, man. Damn near.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
I sure
did you
did.
see what I talked about with political Mandalorianism?
No, I didn't. Like I said, I haven't seen nothing in a minute because I thought you disappeared. But I am subscribed to you, but I haven't gotten any alerts. Let me double check.
Yeah, I talked about a lot since then.
Yeah, it's been
Typically
a
in the
minute.
last 5 months, yeah.
So yeah, man. So yeah, spit, man. What's your thoughts, man? What's your thoughts?
Man, oh my goodness, I don't even know where to start, family. It's amusing because I think the last time we spoke, we talked about the shifting in energy and the importance of the nuance between the masculine modality is all about giving direction and consuming for the sake of action, whereas
Right.
the
Hold up.
universe,
Hey, name is somebody. What's your channel name again in there? Cause somebody's asking.
it's Nanashi no Monogatari, but I will give you a link just a moment.
Yeah, put that in there.
Let's see. Hopefully it'll link. Let me go to your channel. It's weird when I try to link it from YouTube. Let me try on my phone. Yeah, I'm in here. Cool. Da, da, da. Sorry, this is taking a minute.
Go ahead. No, that's all good, D. He was like he apologized. Yeah, but I want to make sure everybody got your. Oh, let me see. I'm trying to double check my damn self. That's why I'm like, hold up. Uh, yeah, put it in there because it ain't under your regular name, is it?
Nah, I gotta about to link it right now. This should be it. I think so.
Okay, let me see. Let me tap one from my phone. Okay. Yeah, I'm subscribed. I never get no alerts from you at all. That's crazy.
Yeah, man, the algorithm be kind of picky. Like I'm getting subscribers, but I think they must be like intelligence agencies and bots.
It gotta be, dog. I mean, no, I don't know, but yeah, but I'm just saying, like, that's crazy. Cause I know I was like, yo, 'cause that's why I haven't heard from you in a while. I don't never get no alerts from you. Never.
Yeah, I'm on IG a lot though. So every time I do a live stream or I've got some content up there, I try to send a notification to my story on Instagram. So
Oh, okay.
that's another way to double check.
You said hit the bell. Somebody said hit the bell.
Yeah,
Okay.
they changed it
All
up to
right.
where you got to hit the bell to get alerts now.
Oh, see, I didn't really know that. I didn't hit. Damn, I thought if you subscribe, you still supposed to get it. That's crazy.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I hit the bell. So, but yeah, man, go ahead and spit, man. I ain't want to interrupt. I want everybody to get your information.
Nah, it's all good, family. But
Yeah.
we were just really seeing a continuation of a lot of the points we were speaking about earlier. And something I really want to remind people about Trump. He ain't supposed to be there.
Hmm.
He really is not supposed to be there. And he is anyway. Like, if you consider it, could he actually be bought by anybody?
Hmm.
Can you think about anyone that's got enough money to really quote unquote purchase him?
Yeah, that's a good question. Not really.
And then you got to consider they tried to lock him up on some Rico energy. Failed to do that
Right.
multiple times. Like when you see the sheer volume of cases that were brought against him, I've never seen that before.
Yeah, that is crazy. That's nasty work.
Not that many, like that many on multiple states, and he was just matrix bullet dodging them. So then we get to the actual dodging of bullets, and he actually dodged a bullet.
That is crazy.
I'm trying to tell you, man. Like if you just look at the sheer probability mathematically that he makes it to the seat, and then here's what you also have to consider: he's getting in there in a situation where they've got the House, the Senate, and they've got a favorable stack of conservative judges. How, fam, how? If not for the obvious, you understand what I'm saying?
Right, right.
So this is why, and I don't want to digress too much. I want to plant food for thought. When I take a look at the current environment right now, and I examine the last 150 years, I made a statement a long time ago that, well, two major ones. Firstly, there's no such thing as alpha and beta males in the Black community. They're only
Mm,
sigmas and omegas. And part of the reason why is because Black women essentially occupy the beta male role. And on the plantation, the only alpha male that was allowed is the plantation owner. And
mm,
oftentimes that was a male or a female that did that. So what that boils down to secondarily is that we didn't have a culture that was animated with the intention of us forming family units to build institution. We're structured to survive in that plantation environment. So when we got an opportunity to break free from that pattern for the first time, there were two critical elements in place there: the government intervention, and the government intervention specifically in the context of military. What makes the military important is that when we joined the Union Army, irrespective of why, when the war concluded, you had a group of men who were initiated through conflict and had a culture where they were directing energy on their own volition and acquiring territory that they then could place a name and a designation to. You have people such as Tunis Campbell, with which you can use as an example, a literal textbook case of what I'm speaking about. What's key to this modality of being is the fact that women were not allowed in the same capacity within the army that men were. Unlike on the plantation, where women by default had greater authority because they had greater access to the children, both those that were slave children and those that were in the big house. You see how you have these two tremendously different modalities of organization.
That's true.
If you want to find a basis through which your model of masculinity is made realized, as an individual classified as Black here in America, should you have a Y chromosome, you have to look to Reconstruction. That is the only time in this country's history where we've had a so-called Black patriarchy. And it was so effective and so profound. It took the combined efforts of white women uniting as one and effectively complaining, adopting former shadows of the abolitionist movement, combining it with the suffragist movement to resurrect white supremacy.
Yep.
We've never had anything close to that since then. And when I look at the current situation that's happening right now, instead of the Industrial Revolution serving as the impetus to move forward with regard to all of that, we now have the Fourth Industrial Revolution. And with this environment now poising itself to become not only energy independent, but we may see a secession from the old crown-based power modality. And without going too tinfoil, I will simply say, if you want to understand the thesis to which the antithesis of planet Earth is responding to, look no further than the crown of Great Britain. You'll find that behind every rock and corner you look at, you're going to find them there with interest, including our northernmost neighbors here on this continent. Everywhere you turn, you're surrounded by their interests. And if it's not a nation that's doing it, it's a technocratic entity, such as a corporation, specifically, or major family, like Rothschilds and Rockefellers, or other entities like BlackRock. If you have any time to do any research on them, you'll start finding common denominators. My point in bringing them up is it really looks like this administration, ever since January 20th, has been pushing very hard to gain independence from the systems that they put together. And one of the greatest entities they've utilized to make that happen has been NATO.
Wow.
So the whole idea of these global treaties, these ideas of having an alignment with Europe, and this illusion that this role play known as whiteness is something that is unilateral and across the board. Let me get you hip to game. The true origins of white supremacy have nothing to do with Europe. It's got everything to do with Persia. Everything. They are the arbiters and the authors of white supremacy. And I'll explain to you why that's critical. When Europe lost its own cultural modality and fell once the Roman Empire crumbled, those who built them back together again were the shadows of Persia, and they did so in their name. And with their rebuilding of Europe came this idea of whiteness for them. I'm going to remind you, prior to that, they used to worship folks from the continent. Don't forget.
That's true. They did.
So if you see us as figures of honor and individuals connected to affluence and high culture, you have to ask yourself what happened. And what happened was the damn Renaissance, followed by colonialization of planet Earth. And we get to Dr. Francis Cress Welsing's understanding of what happened after that, which was them going all over the world, and everywhere they tried to conquer, they found people that didn't look like them. And when they tried to have kids with the individuals that were there who were indigenous, the children didn't look like them, starting
Nope.
this system of role play. You stack
Mm.
you stack that whole thing on top of their culture, which is royalty on top, serf slave them on the bottom, colloquially described as feudalism. And I want you to understand that the model of the baron and the serf is the very same model that was used to create the plantation. It is no different. It's the exact same model. That's why I made that statement earlier about essentially copying serf culture.
That's true. I saw when you said that, and that's so it's almost like to now. This is just my thought. And correct me if I'm wrong. It's almost like they doing it kind of again, but it's like in a different way. Like in other words, like if they're going to bring over these businesses and rebuild, they want to have control of industry. This is the feeling I get. But a lot of those people that we think they're gonna get these little jobs, but it's like a new way of being a slave, like on a plantation to a degree. It won't be, they still can have their cars and make money, but it's like they still control the
Let me help you
destiny of
out.
their future. Huh?
Let me help you out.
Hmm.
What's the difference between a plantation and a factory in the early 20th century?
Mm.
What was the difference?
I gotta think about it. Really, what the real major difference was?
You see how close they are?
Yeah, I had to think about like the
They're not the same, but they damn sure rhyme with each other, don't they?
right. That is true, man. But that's real. That's a good point.
And there's your answer. There's your answer. And that's why when you have people such as Booker T, who wanted to give us skills that we already had cultivated on the plantation to do this on
Right.
our own, that was the whole point, fam. That's why I was highlighting Reconstruction. That's what we were up to. But you had other folks that had
That's a
different
good
ideas.
point, bro. You brought it
Fam,
all home. No, I appreciate that.
fam, this is exactly what Trump is creating right now. He is recreating the Reconstruction era.
So let me ask you this: do you think that because what I'm seeing it's in this time is like you said, I don't think, and it's just my thought, I don't think it's just based on color no more. Like I think it's really classism, whether you got skills or not. It's just really if you fucked yourself over these last few years, even through your family, and you ain't got no skills, your people, you're gonna just have to just be working. You're gonna have to you're gonna have to do something to
Let me
maintain your life.
let me
But go ahead.
highlight something for you. It's been determined that this idea of American has to be doubled down on. Because if their
Mm.
whole goal is to disassociate from the old powers that were involved behind the Magna Carta, I'll type that in the chat for folks that want to research that later. Hold on.
Yeah, put it in there.
You're going to see a couple figures involved there, but I need you to delve into the barons that were responsible for brokering the deal with the crown. And you're going to find that that system you just described is all about, I'll put it to you in terms relevant to America. Quote, who gonna run these Negroes?
Mm.
That's the Magna Carta right there. And when you peep the date on when it was signed and you start following these patterns, it begins to make sense. There's also a really good book called White Trash that really breaks that down so you can see who really is over here right now and how unprecedented it is for the level of pushback against that system that started with George Washington. So the whole point is it's getting back to its roots, where this idea of American, which was decided after the Civil War, was intended to include individuals classified as white, individuals who've been here long before they showed up that are indigenous, and
Mm.
individuals classified as black, specifically and in particular, those whose ancestors were part of the transatlantic slave trade in America. That's American. Everybody else is some form of addition. And there's a
I
process they
agree.
have to be submitted to. And that's exactly what the new order of operations is right now because it's gotten too expensive to operate the way it has been.
Damn, that's some cold shit. So you just articulated better than what I was thinking because and just based on what I'm seeing and my understanding is exactly. So I heard about the Magna Carta, but I didn't know in depth. I heard about it, but I'm reading it now. You is absolutely correct. It's 1215
Bro, they've been
when
at
that was
this a minute. Yep.
yeah, this is
That's how
crazy.
that's how long they've been at it, fam. This has been a thing. This is what it's all boiling down to. That's why they have such a violent, visceral reaction to this idea of aristocracy and kingship. And you have to
Mm,
understand, we walked in on the middle of this conversation. And I guess I should qualify that with my subjective opinion on us as a whole, fam. I see this country, our time on the plantation, our time here in general, I see it as nothing more than a training arc, fam.
you said training what?
A training arc. In other
Mm,
words, America ain't nothing but a dojo. We're here preparing for something much bigger. And I think we are in
I definitely concur with that. Without a doubt. I do.
between the Middle Passage, us bouncing around the Caribbean,
Yep.
being mixed with some of the oldest bloodlines on the planet, and then surviving something we had no business living through, being here anyway, and still making it with nothing.
I agree. You're 1,000. You spot on.
So that's my subjective opinion, but there's a lot more to this. And this goes back to kind of the stuff I've been studying lately, man. I'm gonna say this too, though. With an open mind, and especially since you have access to Pimp God, I highly suspect this idea of hoodoo with an H has a lot more to do with what we brought over from the continent than what people are letting on. And I think it has more use than people understand. I'm going to say it again, with an H. And I think it was a lot of our amalgamated information and wisdom we acquired on that plantation, but it was disseminated in two initiatory circles, the concept of Big Mama and the preacher. And for whatever reason, the aspect that was connected to with Big Mama was allowed to proliferate and become the dominant figure and then essentially disseminate with the small hats. But the other side of that initiation that was supposed to go to the pastors didn't get fully disseminated and was lost in a lot of ways. And I think parts of that ended up finding its way in pimp culture. I
Deep
think they're
shit.
missing elements that are tied directly to that for many reasons had to be controlled. And especially when we get into Jim Crow, was essentially made illegal or appropriated by other groups of people to disturb and obfuscate the actual science. Because you got to
Mm,
remember, the Bible was key to actually understanding the codex to get access to it. And the goal of a codex and an encryption with regards to that is to use it as a metaphor to gain access to codes and a lot of that science, which is why in particular the book of Psalms was used in all of that. That's not a coincidence.
damn.
Fam, it's some I'm trying to tell you, there's a lot that has been intentionally hidden in plain sight, and it's time to go back and get that stuff. Fam, actually, I've been meaning to talk to you about this, man. I would, if let me know what I need to do to potentially set up getting an interview with you two, man. Cause it's a gang of stuff I'd love to sit down and chop it up with.
Oh yeah. Uh Whenever.
Man, you got my email, right?
I think so. Let me get it. You can put it in the chat or put it
Yeah,
in the
it's on my page, but I put it in the chat. I put it in the back chat for you.
yeah, put it in the back chat.
Yeah, we definitely I definitely want to kind of get his perspective on that because he's got that initiation. And there's a lot of that you can pick it up through osmosis, right? And then there's part of that that you naturally are born with. It's kind of a spark. And that's how that gets passed down, unironically, through that X chromosome, which is the funny part. But there's aspects of it that has been intentionally obfuscated to keep us out of our element. And I think it's time more of that be brought forward, given what's on the way. Especially since that other initiatory side to it has just been co-opted and essentially weaponized against us, damn near in the form of ritual necromancy, as we got to see more recently with BLM.
Yep.
We'll put this in the back for you real quick. There we go.
Okay. Okay, got it. All right, got it. I'm putting it in right now. Man, it's a lot of movement going on esoterically, man. It's crazy. And I'm excited about it because, like you just said, this, like you just broke it down, it's like a dojo for, but it's really for the original man to really get back to whom he is and establish that. So really, I believe if you've been bullshitting too long, I mean, it's you the 2/3 that the Bible speaks of. You done. You out of here. I
I'm
really
gonna
believe it.
I'm gonna
Go
tell
ahead. You
people
about that?
I'm gonna tell people pay attention to Russia and start doing some research on how important Russia was for the United States to maintain its sovereignty historically. Then I want you to pay attention to what happened to its royal family and why. And a lot of what you see in the near future may make a lot more sense. And I'm going to say, when you expand your understanding of history past World War II, everything happening now makes so much more sense. And you'll understand your sense of timing for what you need to do. Because I don't think we're going to get another window like this ever again. It's possible that we see a situation where after this 4 years, or really after these next 2 years, when we get a new House and Senate, that a lot of the stuff being done now that we can take advantage of starts going away or becomes that much more challenging.
So wait a minute. So what you essentially saying? You saying for whom? For us? As what are
For
you
the
saying?
country,
I want to yeah, for the
for the
country. Go ahead.
country, period. But for us in particular, just understand, if they can trip out over 10% of men classified as black not operating in the way that they want them to, what are they going to do when they see us, when they regain the reins to the country again and the old order of operations goes back into play? It's going to be a punitive search for any and everybody that's not agreeing to this mess. And they will introduce a hive-like modality that's very, very autocratic, that's connected to the way they can use technology to automatically run certain things that they want to, all under this idea of safety and equality. Just consider this. I mean, all you got to do is go take a look at smart cities, because that's what we were headed towards.
Yeah.
And imagine, it starts with traffic lights. You've seen how this has gone. You know, you run the light, an automatic system is doing something a cop was generally supposed to do. You have a minor dispute in court. To save time, they start having AI make decisions and determinations for you. Eventually, they
That's
develop
crazy.
enough biographical data on you and billions of people, not billions per se, but I'm gonna put billions in quote. But for the United States, it'd be millions of people. They can start creating psychological profiles for you, and all the information that you get access to is being deliberately tailored to you. So you end up searching for things that you don't even realize is yours.
That's crazy.
They start making consensus-based searches on what you look for and your ideas you've spouted and comments you say online. and you have a particular profile, and if you're too out of link with the majority that they want you at, all of a sudden you're labeled an extreme. And if you think that can't happen, I want you to understand that's already happening in the UK right now.
Really?
Fam, when you get time, take a look, man. I'm so serious. Yeah, go look at the number of people who've been arrested for social media posting.
Yo, that's crazy. I didn't hear about that. Yeah, I'm behind it on that. That's crazy.
There's been several thousand people this year already. It's goofy. This is where
Wow.
we headed, man. So you have to make sure that Bill of Rights that you have access to, that you understand it, and you leverage it to the best of your ability. Because what you don't use is going to be used against you 125%. And for the first time in this environment, folks know you got right away for real because they're not trying to acknowledge all that extra. I want you to notice not once have them people gone up there and said some goofiness like, quote, person of color. Have you heard that term recently from them?
Not recently. Nope.
Okay. You see what I'm saying? Well, none of that. They were specifically name dropping black folks by name, by demographic, literally descendants of slaves in America.
Damn.
I'm telling you, we've not had an opportunity like this since Reconstruction. This is the time to get your money right, to get set up, to not buy into this whole fear mongering mess going on. Look at the bigger picture, man. And I'm with you with what you were saying earlier. I'm pissed off we don't have an aggregate organization and entity that is doggedly pursuing power for our group.
Yeah.
That
And like you
can,
said, it's just the best time right now.
you got to be able to do it for yourself so you can assist your immediate circle that you're responsible for. I think that's our best case scenario for now. And with this added energy and momentum, continue to gain speed and look for the right time to start pursuing any new opportunities that show up with these new technologies. So I'm going to tell you this, it's going to be innovation for your emancipation. Otherwise, all you're going to do is just renegotiate the conditions of your enslavement. That's it. That's where we're at right now. And for some people, they'll be comfortable with a slave hut that got AC and Wi-Fi.
That's some cold shit you saying, bro. That is the new word. That's like the new version of it. It's like, yo, you spit, yo, because that's what I've been saying, but you articulated it perfect. I'm like, yo, that's because you can see it happening. You can see it. It's going down. That's oh
Yeah,
man.
man. Yeah, man. And there it is. Like, I mean, I understand the race issue, but at the end of the day, we chose to integrate. And because
Yep.
we chose to integrate, there go your consequences. I don't believe that they should have had them boomers out there as children going from not being able to drink at the same water fountain to basically getting rocks thrown at them going to school, and then be surprised that they grow up doing what they do right now. I think that was
Yeah.
extremely goofy. And a point I will highlight, a very important point I will highlight. It was a silent generation that started this mess. They're the ones that sent the boomers in there to do that. They weren't the ones that had to suffer the consequences of their actions. And I'm going to highlight the importance of the silent generation. Because if you look at the distance generation wise that the silent generation has from the Civil War era, now I want you to pull this up when you get time. Look at the silent
Yeah.
generation and then look at when the Civil War happened, right? That Civil War era. I want you to understand that they are the same distance away from the Civil War that they are from Gen Z. Generationally speaking, they are the same number of generations apart. So if you draw, if you've got a circle, you know how you got the diameter that cuts straight through it?
Yeah.
If the silent generation is in the center of that circle, the same distance is traveled to go back in time to the Civil War as it is to go forward to Gen Z from them. So you have to ask yourself, what kind of energy are they bringing with them through those portals?
Mm.
How many generations are being exposed indirectly to that cosmic radiation from back then? That's how you get all of this, fam. And all it takes is gaining access to a portal that's been influenced by it. They mother had an issue, pass it on to their mother. They mother had the same issue, pass it on to their mother. Down the line, they got access all the way to Gen Z, fam. Same distance. And they got it from great grandmothers that had that experience at ground zero. Some folks ain't even left. Some folks are still down there, not even 30 miles away from where their ancestors were literally on a damn plantation.
That is true, though.
I wish I was joking, man. You understand what I'm saying?
Damn. It's an interesting time, man. I'm excited about it, to be honest with you, because I see everything that you're saying, and I've been saying it. And like you said, this is the best time, and you put it into clarity why I feel like the way I do. Like I just feel motivated, and and it's the irony. Like today, before this, really before this speech, every day I feel like this, but today in particular, I just felt good. I came in, I went into to the school. I just felt energetic. I was speaking to everybody. Like I just felt good. Like I couldn't explain why, but I'm like, it's like I know so I can feel the shift. I can feel the momentum. Even people hitting me up like it's different now. Like
You
this
know what it
one
is?
broad in particular, this one chick hit me up. I mean, this ain't nothing, but I'm just saying it's a symbolic. This chick I used to try to get with this Dominican bro. She had the baddest body though. I ain't even gonna say in front. That thing was ridiculous. I've been like it was some years back though, but I was trying to give her for so long. But she just hit me up every now and then. The chick had 2 kids, got a divorce. I think she was married. But all I have to say is that she was like hitting me up for work. Like, do you have any work? I see, I want to be a part of what you're doing. And then I'm like, that's strange. I'm like, yeah, like, but you're gonna get a lot of that because people are watching. Because like you said, this period we went through, a lot of people just got stuck, man. They were complacent. Like all these federal workers, man. How many federal people you knew they used to brag and say, because I'm especially in the DC area, oh, I can't get fired. I can't get. They used to brag. I used to hear that for years. I can't go nowhere. This the federal government. I can't. They laugh in your face. They ain't laughing no more. I could tell you that right now. Being in DMV, they ain't laughing. It's kind of
Well,
quiet right now.
remember, I'm from the same deal. So, but the
Oh, that's
difference
right. You
is,
are. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, I was in the DMV also, and I'm a federal government worker. And I'll just say that there's a difference between people that are essential, like I am, and
Right.
those that are classified as 1800. And then them folks who, in about a week or two now, if they get furloughed, they get told not to come in. I think what we're
Dang.
going to see is a dry run where folks get furloughed. And what Doge is going to do is take a look at what the agencies look like running on bare minimum. And then that's going to be their standard that they start making adjustments off of. It wouldn't surprise me. So,
Wow. So you think they're
yeah,
gonna use like AI for a lot of that, don't
not necessarily. I think that what's been happening is they have overhired certain positions because there's a quiet good old boy system
you?
that
Right.
uses the university model. So I want you to remember this, man. Remember how I told you it was critical to recognize that it was the suffragist movement that combined with the Marxist socialist movement that got the feminism modality started. And it's through that, through the black, the basically the black universities, that they managed to combine that with civil rights. So even though that was never meant to go in anything to do with suffragists, it's through W.E.B. Du Bois and them and the black colleges that managed to happen. So when you follow that all down the line, that's kind of where you get that sentiment of who's going to be included when it comes to the Civil Rights Bill 1964 on who gets the privilege. So it starts with Title VII defining who's a protected class. And because they decided to add sex at the last minute to that classification, which was only supposed to have race and color, all of a sudden you now have women as a political minority. And it just so happens to be that white women make up 51% of the freaking population. So when it comes down to actually disseminating who's going to get a lot of these positions, it ended up being white women. You
Mm.
following me so far?
Yeah. Nah,
That's
no,
that.
you're absolute.
So that's who sets the context for a lot of these government jobs. It just so happened to be that in certain areas where we had super high concentrations of people, that black folks got a point of entry into these positions. The thing is, it was mostly military and people who were going in for things that had to do with law enforcement, and generally at a lower to mid level. So all of these positions that have happened lately, especially post Obama, with this diversity inclusion thing that was included a couple years ago, mostly that was white women, man. And so all of these positions got filled up left and right. And then now a lot of them are there and they're just redundant. Some of them are at home. That's why they did that big snip, because they're saying,
Mm.
oh, we didn't really need all of that. And they're just returning to the way it used to be back before COVID. And then from there, they're going to determine if they've got redundancies within a lot of those agencies, because what people don't know is every agency has its own optimization team that goes through and does what Doge is doing. My organization had the same thing in 2016, but you know what was happening with that, right?
What?
These administrators, they would take a lot of the money that they were getting every year for their agency and giving their favorites a cut and kind of ignoring the money that was supposed to be given for that optimization. And so
Mm.
the last administrator we had got caught and had to resign. Like, that is a very common thing to happen. So there's all of these efficiency reviews because they get third party people to come in and do it. And these people have it. It's just that they don't always implement that. Normally they don't, but they do keep the money that gets allocated that was supposed to be estimated to be needed to address it. And so they make these superficial changes that don't really change anything. And whatever's left over, they walk home with a giant freaking bonus. And that's how they've been getting around, excuse me, getting around a lot of that stuff.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
bro. Yo, you said a mouthful, man. Shit. That's like
it's
crazy.
it's a hustle.
It is, man. So you just saying, so really, so what you're saying, at the end of the day, those that are listening, like you saying, it's just a perfect time right now for us to make the move, especially I'm gonna say this as black men. Um,
Especially black men. Because you know what? What this has done is people who are in these industries, and I'm going to say this, for as hard as you've probably worked, people know you know what you're doing. It's just that it's easier for people at the upper management level to meet double quotas by hiring women and other people over you. But now that that's out the window, guess who just became the preferred individual to hire, knowing you're going to work your ass off?
black man.
You see where I'm going?
Mm.
The only other demographic that had that reputation, by and large, just got removed. Because I want to remind you of something. The demographics that have just been subject to ICE, they're only known for being that way in the first generation. And if you're first generation, guess what you not 9 times out of 10? You couldn't have been born here. You see what I'm saying?
Right. Okay. I see what you're saying. I see
So
where
by
you're
the
going.
time you're born here, your parents were like that, but you weren't necessarily. You understand where I'm going with that?
Right. No, I do.
So black men just became the premium demographic for hidden talent that's right under people's noses. And we're about to be almost first pick for so many things. It's not even funny.
I'm gonna tell you what's funny that you're saying this again. Now, this is the irony of what you're saying. That's why I appreciate you coming up because you be understanding, man. You got it. Because today, at the hair school where I'm at, just today too. I go in there, and the director, which is the owner, I've been knowing him for years. Remember, I went to school there when I was 17. So I've been knowing him over 30 years. So it's like, so I go in there. I was just chilling. I was about to leave out. I was waiting for my mother to call me. She worked around the corner. So I'm just sitting there, just chopping it up. Now with them other chicks that didn't speak to me that worked there, one of them came today, this evening when I was just kind of waiting to leave, and she come in there and she was, she spoke today, but she just sitting there, right? So the director comes down and then she was talking to us. It was three other teachers in there. She was like, so she said, what did y'all think about the presentation yesterday? Da da da. So I didn't say no, I was just more so listening. But all the girls want to chime in, like you saying, all these chicks. Now, mind you, she's not paying me. I'm actually bringing business to the school. I'm there to like what you. I'm just you. You said something that's very profound because I'm the one that's actually helping her. Like the rest of them are coming in on ego, that same old shit that they all do. But I was just the only one really quiet. I was just listening to what they were saying, and then but she kept the director asked the question a couple more, but she didn't even want them to answer. She was referring to me. She said, "What do you think, Scott? What do you think?" Like she was like, "What's your thought on it? What's your?" I was like, "Wow!" And then everybody just kind of was looking at me like, "Damn, she referring to him." But I wasn't trying to interrupt. You know, when I'm around them hyenas like that, I just be quiet, man. I'm just like, I just look. But she was desperately the going on what you're saying. She was desperately wanting to know my opinion on everything. What was my thoughts? I was like, "Wow." So what you're saying is actually true, bro. It's just that that's a very small example, but it's an example that a lot of brothers going to experience.
Oh yeah. And if you're not already, be prepared. I'm telling you. And they know you're usually the best option, which is why you were kept there. It's just you were never allowed to move forward and get promoted because it meant you'd end up being competition or
Right.
they would have to find somebody else to replace you. And there's just not a lot of us. Not a lot of us that are willing to put up with continually doing work like that.
Nope.
And generally, they benefited from us being so well that we would train newer people coming in, and we were tasked with that because they knew we knew our job. But at the same time, you weren't afforded any leeway should you fail to follow any baseline policy that you saw other people routinely breaking. All I'm going to say is that is about to change dramatically.
That's crazy, yo. Nah, man, you god damn, yo. Like, I'm so glad to hear your voice tonight, yo, because it's been so long and to get your insight. So it's basically everything I've been kind of saying, man, and we spot on with where everything's going. That's why I feel excited, man. I couldn't explain why I felt excited though. That's the thing I was trying to explain. I couldn't explain why today I just felt good. Like I couldn't explain it. And things were lining up that way, which is the irony. Like it was just, but I just felt good. I was just chilling like any other day, but I just felt, I don't know. I just felt really excited. But and I think part of it too, that you even on here. Like I just expect to speak to you tonight. So it's just everything makes sense.
Fam, the energy is shifting because there's a return to order that's speaking to the subconscious nature. So even though intellectually they want to push back against it, if you just assume your natural role, there's no more resistance. That's what you're feeling. They're not searching for ways of being on that Kali energy because there's nothing there to reward them. They'll actually get outed at this point.
Damn.
I know you
Yo, that's
sense it, man. It's right there for everybody to
it
see.
is, yo. It's
That's why you
crazy.
can breathe easier. That's exactly why.
That is so wild you saying that. Seriously, bro. It really is. 'Cause I really did. I said today I just felt different. Now I'm always pretty much upbeat and just, but today was I couldn't explain it. It was a little different today.
Yeah, it's the Kali, the whole energy with Kali is lifted. It's lifted.
Mm.
It's got no justification to be here right now. And so it's shifted and no one's able to tap into it. I mean, they had a whole network and system that was artificially keeping it there. I mean, I know you understand your esoteric history, so I'll also link that to old school Sekhmet if you're familiar with her.
Of who?
Sekhmet. She was the
I've heard the
daughter.
name. Now I don't.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
they call her the lady in red. She's depicted as being a cat. She's got a cheetah, cat, lion head, wears a red dress, and is the daughter of Ra. And her whole thing is she does exactly what Kali does. Anytime she thinks Ra was harmed or the wrong thing was said or there's some injustice, she shows up and everybody just gets turned into everybody gets turned red, if you understand what I'm saying.
Right.
And she don't stop for nothing. And the only way they ever got her to stop traditionally is Thoth, as you understand. His whole thing is knowledge. He's a moon deity. His whole
Right.
thing
Right.
was
Right.
all about knowledge and understanding. He introduced writing to the people.
Yep.
He had to convince everybody to play dead to get her to stop. And so when they all started playing dead, Sekhmet finally snapped out of it. And when she realized all the damage she caused, she repented and apologized. And then she becomes Bastet. And if you remember Bastet, that ends up being the deity you see in Black Panther, but she's the Black Panther god that is all about femininity and fertility and guarding the home. It's a big reason why cats are really popular in Kemet.
Yeah.
But that's the story behind that. That's the
Dang.
story behind that. That whole feminine energy being mobilized for the sake of justice, and then they end up causing more harm than good because they were mobilized for the wrong reason. And then all of a sudden, when they realize what they did and all that damage and destruction is there, it's like, uh-oh. Pay very close attention to that. It's not to say that everything is going to go back to, how it was, but just understand that there's going to be a growing number of women who are going to be more vocal when they get an opportunity to experience the masculine direction of energy in its proper element, which is consumption for the sake of continuing to produce, rather than producing something for the sake of consuming more, which is feminine.
Woo. Man, you just said a mouthful, dog. I mean, that's crazy, yo. Like it's just crazy. And even today, when I was talking to the one chick, right, she was just like sitting there, like, yeah. Then she started talking. She said, yeah. She was trying to impress me. I was just sitting there, just looking at her, like she was like, yeah, I do this, and I try to help people understand the business and where they. I don't know why she's trying to sell me on anything, but I just felt what you're saying. I felt it. I'm like, girl, and they all know. Like my friend, she was like, "You're the only one that's really accomplished in this whole room." But all of them tried to be. It's that same old diva stuff. They got a couple accolades, but they none of them has accomplished as much as I have. And but I just be chilling. I don't. I'm moved on with life. I'm doing other stuff, but they know that. But like you saying, like that stuff don't have no weight anymore. It's like they trying to impress me. Like I'm like, girl, you just talking. Like I don't care about. I'm on the move. Like what you doing? So but what you're saying as a whole, that's what it's going to be like.
That's the shift, man. You got to take advantage of this window because there's going to be an aggressive attempt to gain control again. If it can't happen on the federal level, it absolutely will happen on a state level. And if it happens on a state level, the way that's going to look is going to be on the city level. So you'll have cities that'll be aligned with that energy, or they'll be anti that energy. And that's going to be the new politics. It's going to be all about
Damn.
which cities are competing for the state resources so they can get access to them. That's going to be the new politics, man. And you are probably already seeing it in DC.
Oh yeah, definitely. Oh yeah, definitely. And that's why I tell them at the hair school. I said, this is the best time, y'all, because y'all doing something with your hands. Y'all withstood the COVID. And it's a family-owned business. I don't know if you ever heard of Dudley's. They kind of icons in the black in beauty industry. 'Cause that's the one Chris Rock did the movie with
Oh, good
Dudley's.
hair, bad hair.
Yeah, that's it. So they
Yeah, I
like a
remember that.
but they kind of fell off, man, because this is that old, just old, But I'm there to bring the new. But you could see they fighting the old program, but the owner, director, she embraces me. First, they were intimidated by me, like you were saying earlier. Some years back, I told them, "Hey, man, I wanted to help them out then when I had the money to actually help them build it out." But now I'm like, only thing I can really give them, 'cause I'm working on my clothing line, that's taking off, and I'm like, look, I can come and just give my insight on how the beauty world works, but I'm past the hair part, like, but I can
Mm.
give back. And so, but now they're referring to me, like, but before they had it all going on some years back. It's like what you said something is really interesting how everything, because now she's trying to get that federal. She was saying kind of what you were saying. She was like, man, you know, if we can align ourselves, we can do. But she don't even really know what she's saying. But what you're saying, it make more sense because you're gonna have to be on to something, and then you probably can get that money. You if you producing and you moving a certain way, you can get that funding.
It's there. Those
It seems
contracts
like they're
exist
ready
for
to
sure.
give it to you. Huh?
Yeah, I mean those contracts are there. You just got to be able to produce, and so that's going to
That's
be
the
what
thing.
stands
Yeah.
out pretty soon. And we've had no choice but to do that. So, like I said, this was nothing more than a training arc. In other words,
Dang.
America ain't nothing but a dojo. And when you understand this, and this will be the last point I say because I don't want to hold you up too much, fam. Uh,
It's all good. Go ahead. What you gonna say?
other people have come here to do business. The problem is we don't only people that are here to live. If we can if we can understand that the United States is not meant to be a place to live at, but to do business, everything you need to know will click into place and make sense.
Wow.
All of it. All of it. We are quite literally the grandparents of humanity. We can be anywhere. And the fact that we just got a platinum business card to do business here, listen, and I'm gonna really drive this point home. For as much as people are complaining about this whole situation with Trump, understand there are going to be businesses here pretty soon that will be paying millions of dollars to gain visa access to do business in America.
You ain't lying, bro. You on it. You on it.
And you already got that advantage by being here already.
That's what's crazy. That's the crazy thing. That's why when
They
I
don't
hear him
see it
speak, I already know what they're doing.
and they don't see it yet. They will, but they don't see it yet, but they will.
You're gonna be getting paid big money if you know what you're doing and how to produce. Man, you ain't lying, man. You are, yeah, man. You, I'm so blessed to have you on tonight, yo. 'Cause I didn't expect. I haven't heard from you so long, and
Well,
for you
man,
to
look at the
come drive
close.
this home,
Yeah,
huh?
look at the I'll just use your business as an example, man. You've worked with people internationally. You know what they're gonna have to do soon?
What?
Starting this coming April 2nd specifically, because he said in a little speech he ain't want to make it April 1st. That was hilarious. He
Yeah, he
said,
did say. He said because he didn't want to be April Fool's Day or something. Yo, he be
fam,
wild sometimes.
fam,
But go
you
ahead.
will be able to make clothes, and everybody else that you've worked with internationally that wants to make clothes and sell them here got to pay tariffs on it. And you don't. And you don't. Do you understand
That
that?
is, yeah, that
I
is
mean,
something, man.
that's immediately impacting your business, fam.
That does.
And more importantly, it postures you a certain way in the international community out the gate. So now you potentially
It
can become a
does.
backdoor for other people that want to sell their stuff as a front through you because you can bypass the tariffs. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yep,
Salute
I
to you,
do.
fam. That is an immediate impact on your business that instantly gives you an advantage for something that we used to think was a curse, being born here.
That's crazy. It is a blessing, man. I'm telling you, man. That's why I said what you're saying is so true, man. So profound, and it really puts a stamp on everything that I've been saying and been feeling too. You know, and just observing. And it's really for those that have been producing. A lot of black people are scared to death because they don't know. Because we've been, you know, like you saying earlier, you know, you don't want to beat us up, but yeah, it's true. We've been so dependent on it. But now it's like, man, it's a great opportunity, man, just to expand. But a lot of us don't really. I come to find out this too, man. A lot of us just don't know what to do. Like we kind of. we kind of stuck there, like what we do now type stuff. It's like
Man,
what?
if nothing else, start doing research on the fourth industrial revolution and learn how to use AI to your advantage, man. You'd be
There
surprised
you
at the
go.
ways that you can manipulate AI to even just give you ideas on what to do, man. Like it's crazy. Take
Bro,
advantage of
I'm already doing it, bro. If you see, like I'm already doing it, and I said that too. That's another thing that you spot on. Because I said for me, AI has been a gift because I tell it what to do, and it helps me because I
it.
already
Yo,
know how to speak to it. I already
that's
know.
your
But some
that's
people, it's a curse because they don't know because they're not hands on. They put something, but they're not even understanding. Really, you can use it as a tool.
that's
But
your
go ahead,
new
you want to
bottom
say something?
bitch. Yeah, that's your new bottom bitch. That's all I was gonna
Yep,
say.
yep. It's crazy, man. You should see the stuff I'm actually doing. It's crazy, but it's excel and it's funny. It's funny you saying it because this has excelled my business already, which is so crazy because I'm producing these ideas and I have now the manufacturers that I posted on my Instagram that's willing, they building a team for me and overseas now in one of my factories. They said they love my work and ideas. They designating a team just to do my stuff effectively. And they already doing it because I post the videos.
Yo,
They're already doing it.
you need to get them hip to the tariffs that are about to hit and
Yeah.
encourage them to help you build a team there stateside too. I'm telling
But
you,
that's what
man.
I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what's gonna be
yeah,
dope because I talked to one of them about that. Um, I'm just saying how the influence that we have. I'm just using as an example. But see, but the next step is that because I
yep,
want them here.
yep, yep. And that's just gonna be just printing. Fam, look, it's amazing what's happening now. Take advantage of it. And for folks on the playback, please take heed. Because I don't know when we're gonna see something like this again, especially in our lifetime. And we may
You
not
ain't
even
lying,
see it.
man.
Man, we may not even see this in the next 2 years, man, depending on how things go.
Damn.
Yep.
Yeah, bro, man. Yeah, man. I appreciate you coming in, man. This is a real treat for everybody listening, for myself included, to have you on.
Man, anytime,
And just that
fam.
breakdown, because I'm gonna definitely listen to it again, my damn self. So, but I appreciate it, man, and man, always, man. But I hit the little bell on this because I am subscribed to you. I've been subscribed to you since back then, and I thought you just disappeared. I never see no notifications. I'm like, damn, like
Nah, man. I've been in the background training, man, trying to raise my power level, man, for this next arc show up.
you ain't lying, yo. You ain't lying. Hey, bro, it is real. Like you said, it's like a dojo. You said it
Man.
perfectly, though.
Yeah,
And
man.
and you know what though, and it shows too there's black men, we can go anywhere, man. We just maintain this understanding and not being led by a dick. We can change everything. We're internationally. And like you said, I think it is a short period before everything else kind of set in. But if you like you're saying within the next year or two, you don't take advantage of this, man. You basically right back where you started.
I concur. I concur wholeheartedly. And as we said earlier, man, if you don't take advantage of this and use that innovation for your emancipation, all you're gonna do is renegotiate the context of your enslavement. That's all it boils down to.
Damn. Woo, brother, man. Again, I appreciate it, man. I gotta think about it. I'm a light pad full. So when I get all this information, I gotta kind of marinate on it. I do, man. But yeah, man, I appreciate you, man. But yeah, I'm gonna send you I got your email.
Yeah, fam.
If you
Anytime,
can
just let me know. Normally I got Friday, Saturdays free. But I'm flexible, man. Just hit me up, man. Enjoy the rest of your night and thanks for having me up, family.
oh yeah, absolutely, man. My pleasure, man.
Os.
All right, fam. That's my man, the protagonist, nameless, man. He always drop fire, man. That's my brother. Um, Shout out to him, man. Coming in, dropping those major league gems, man. Like I can't. I'm so thankful that he came up. So my night is complete with that. I mean, you can't end it any better with him coming on and dropping this, man. This is a treat for you guys, man, to have him up and dropping this kind of knowledge, man. Especially at the night like this that Trump spoke tonight. I thought it was really it's an exciting time, man. I've been saying it for a while, and Nameless just basically just just certified what I've been saying to you guys for a minute and been feeling. So shout out to him again, and shout out to y'all that stayed, man, and and took in this game and this information. But it's an exciting time, man. Like I said, I'm gonna end with this. Uh, this is an exciting time, like you said, man. This is the best time to do it. And really, I'm gonna add this part. Is really, I've been saying it for so long. I also believe if you weren't headed to this direction to begin with, a lot of y'all got a lot of work to do to catch up real quickly. See, I was already headed there, so AI was a gift for me because it has accelerated shit that I was already doing. If y'all look at my work, I was already doing it. So everything has accelerated. It's like shit. Now I can move on to my production aspect fast. He was spot on what he said tonight, man. Trump and Nameless. So shout out to him, and it's a great time, fellas. I'm excited, man. I really am. And yeah, man. I just want you brothers to feel it. I want you guys. That's why I tell you brothers to have discipline on your nature, which is your manhood, your dicks. To say the least. These bras, like he said, they're gonna do everything to destroy you too, because you represent one nation that Nameless was saying of change. Each individual brother. So as a nation mover, a builder, pioneer, you get with one of these bras that ain't no good, she going down with the system. She gonna take you with her. I'm telling y'all, man. This is why they got rampant diseases. Brothers, come on, man. We got to get out of that, man. I'm done. I leave it to y'all. I am not chasing. I chase nothing. I have no stories to tell y'all about no bras. Nothing interesting. I don't care about that. That's low. A bra has to come in to, I don't know, man. I'm gonna get on the thing with Elon Musk because he has the kids. From my understanding, he pays some of these bras just to have the kids and just be like, "Look, get out my face." Because on one hand, I'm like, man, on that level, the way he moving, it's something to that too, esoterically. But we can get on that later. That's another one. But I'm looking at a lot of things, fellas, and I hope you guys are too. I hope you analyzing and really looking at things through the third eye here and understanding what's going on and making the proper adjustments, man. Because I know I'm excited. I really am. You guys need to be on the same excitement, man. I really am. I can I'm giddy over here right now. And like I said, for Nameless to come in and say what he's saying, I'm excited. I'm giddy, and I'm a giddy for all you brothers that understand the same thing with me. So with that being said, man, I just want to say I'm thankful that you came in, thankful that you guys stayed, and I love you guys, man. I really truly do. This is why I believe that I have the success, the calmer way it is. I got good subscribers, I got good members on my channel, I got good uh uh moderators on my channel. I have the best. I think I have the best subscribers that you can have. Smart people, smart men and women, um, and great conversation, man. Great, pure. When we ain't sitting here talking about Keishas all night, the frivolous stuff that Keishas do, and we talk about in different contexts, esoterically, and how the energy moves. But just trying to get Keisha and knowing what Keisha doing, no one cares, yo. I don't. So yeah, this was very productive conversation, man. So I can end it with that. But man, y'all get some rest. Enjoy the rest of y'all week. I may do something later. I don't know. You know the mood strike. But until then, peace.